Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Another week has come to a close, so you know what that means. I've got another indie game for you this week, and this one's called Beatbuddy, Tale of the Guardians. Made by the German studio Threaks, Beatbuddy is an adventure puzzle game that takes you on a journey about music, rhythm, and harmony. I would normally take a moment here to tell you the background that the story sets up, but honestly, the opening does it so well, even I can't do it justice. Have a look for yourself.
They say that there are worlds that exist because of the giant ball of fire in the sky and liquid that falls to earth in little droplets. Ridiculous. Here on Symphonia, we are sustained by our harmony, melody, and beat. Music is our lifeblood. It's in everything. Most fools think that the music is naturally occurring, that it will always be there. But I, Clef, know differently. You see, I've come to believe the fairy stories my ma told me as a symphonian blood. Stories of three ancient ethereal beings known as the bodies, who slumber in an eternal sleep and dream our music into our world. I was there, I tell you. I was there when they woke up.
And from the outset, the game makes it very clear that we're dealing with a melodical world filled with hand-painted art, well-written characters whose voices range from your typical boots and cats beatbox style to more eclectic rhythms that all denote the personality each character brings to the game, as well as a decent variety of puzzle mechanics that give you a decent level of challenge while keeping the pace flowing smoothly. Each of the 6 levels you play through is based around a song and is sectioned up into various parts. And you'll notice quickly that the parts of the song you hear can help determine the kinds of challenges you might face. The tutorial section is actually excellent at showing how it all works together, so let's walk through that quickly. It starts where every good song does, the bass line, and a drum that will bust you through walls. And after introducing the snare streams and dashing, you begin to hear the track isolation work in effect, and before long you'll notice that every instrument is somehow represented in the gameplay. After moving on to the hi-hat crabs and the dangers they present, the idea is cemented, and you're thrown into the deep end, if you'll pardon the expression, and are left to figure out the rest as you go along. New mechanics will get thrown at you every so often, like the deflectors, and power symbols used to open the doors. That's symbols with a C, by the way. You also run into the bubble buggy, a curious vehicle that moves with the beat, and can only dash every second beat. It's usually accompanied by the full version of the song, so by the time you get to ride in the bubble buggy, you're rather glad to do so. The game isn't one that you can just blow your way through either. If you try to rush and force your way through, more often than not, you'll find yourself frustrated and annoyed at a lack of control or inability to get around an enemy, especially the fire snails and soldiers and such introduced later on. This was helped out a lot in a recent patch in which they introduced mouse controls, which greatly complement the keyboard and controller configurations already in the game. But getting back to the plot, you find out that we're trying to stop the maestro, who wants to control the rhythm of Symphonia and all of its music, making everyone march to the beat of his own drums. Bongos. Yeah, that's right, the whole world nothing but bongos. What a monster. And that leads you further in, alongside Clef, who introduced himself in the opening, to stop the maestro, save your siblings, restore harmony, and so on and so on and so forth. So now with all the descriptive topics out of the way, the question turns to, is the game any good? And I'd say mostly yes. And the only reason I even say mostly is because there are a few problems you should know about, but none of them are anywhere close to bad enough to keep you from playing this game. For example, the graphical settings are what you would expect from a Unity game, and because the sound effects and music are essentially parts of the same whole, the audio controls are even more sparse than usual. And though the new and improved mouse controls do help, even they fail hard at some of the more precise segments, especially in the bubble buggy. But as with most quirky control methods, once you figure out the tricks, progressing becomes a lot smoother. aided especially by the music. And as I said earlier, with 6 stages, each broken up into chapters, playing through the game with time to search and find all the hidden relics and extras and such will take you around 3 to 5 hours. I'm not terribly sure about the replay value for yourself, however, I will go so far as to call this a good gateway game. Your, in fact, replay value may just come from showing it to other people. The wonderful aesthetic, the smooth 60 frames per second gameplay, the toe-tapping rhythms make this an excellent game to show someone if you're trying to break them into the PC gaming market. You can find it on Steam for $9.99, and as usual, all the relevant linkages will be down below. Give this game a try. Once you hear what it has to offer, you'll agree that keeping the beat is worth all the trouble. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and as always, we'll see you next time.